Math 13 students, hello. I've got my camera, finally came in the mail yesterday, and I have got it set up, and I'm going to try to record some examples to go along with some of our new material. So we'll see how this goes. So hang with me, we've got some examples coming up here in just a moment. There we go. All right, so Math 13, Elementary Statistics, Section 7.1, we have some video examples here. So the first thing we're going to do is to use a confidence interval to find the point estimate and the margin of error. So usually when I start with these, and honestly the process is the same regardless of where or which section I encounter this type of question, I usually draw a number line, 0.306 at the low end, 0.514 at the high end. So what I'll need to do now is to find the middle point, and that's going to be my point estimate. That would be coming from my sample. So the keystrokes are fairly simple. We've actually used these a number of times already. 0.514 plus 0.306, sum those up, and then divide the result by 2. So 0.41, that is my point estimate, 0.41. So P hat 0.41. Now, I need my margin of error E. Find that margin of error E, I'll pick the high point, 0.514, subtract from that my point estimate of 0.41. That's going to be my margin of error E. In fact, there will be two. We'll add and subtract one of those, and then the other, and that gets us to our endpoints. The calculator already finds those for us, but sometimes we need to pull out the margin of error. So Mr. Calculator comes back, 0.514 minus 0.41, and we have a 0.104. So my margin of error is 0.104. Now, let's go ahead and construct a confidence interval. So we'll use this to estimate population proportions in section 7.1. We have a recent survey of 237 randomly selected residents. 193 said they were going to vote in that next election that's so important in the fall. So we're going to construct the 90% confidence interval for the proportion of California residents planning on voting in the next national election. So we will begin by noting that I use the one prop Z interval tool. Where do I find that one prop Z interval tool? Under the stat key, over on the far right. I have to scroll down quite a bit. I want to make sure I don't pick up the one prop Z test by mistake. And somewhere down here, the one prop Z interval, that is the tool I wish to use. I can input the X values. There were 193 residents who said they were going to vote. And then I can input the total number of survey respondents of 237. I can now set my confidence level, which is 90%, which goes in decimal form. Now, I'm going to take 3 decimal places for most of these, but there's no real hard and fast rounding rule. I will note that my presentation gives me the point estimate P hat as well as the confidence interval right up above. So I'll round that to 3 decimal places. Let me move this off to the side, and we have a 0.773 less than P less than 0.8558 or 856. I'll note the point estimate, which comes directly from our sample, of 0.814. All right. So there's my confidence interval. Now, I have one more example to go. We're going to construct a 99% confidence interval with the same data set. Working with multiple questions in the same data set, it's quite easy. I'll come right back to tests, find my one prop Z interval. There's the data. The only thing I'm going to change is the level of confidence. I'll note something also. I will note that the point estimate doesn't change. It's the same data from the sample, But my confidence interval looks a little bit different now. In fact, it's wider, 0.749 less than P less than 0.879. And again, I'll note that we have the same point estimate. So now we have a couple of worked examples, and these are the keystrokes we use to construct our confidence interval. Thank you. Let me know if you find this helpful.